Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we're starting a brand new series playing as House Blackwood. Now we're playing just before Aegon's conquest, so before Aegon has decided to invade Westeros. Now I'm hoping that he decides not to invade Westeros for what we have in store for this series. So yes, as we're playing as House Blackwood, we're obviously in the Riverlands, but under the rule of House Hoare from Harrenhal, so which should be interesting, but it should also help us achieve our goals a little bit easier, as most of the Riverlands obviously hate our current kings and overlords. We're playing as Lord Reaver Mathis of Blackwood, who is married to Lady Desmira of Blackwood, who is an Osgrey apparently, which is pretty cool. Now our aims for this series, as some of you may already know, but I'll go over it, is to hopefully build relations with the North and the First Men and the Old God worshippers, and try and bring the Old Gods back to the South, the Riverlands and the Vale, and wherever else we manage to expand to. We'll try and convert most of this land down south back to the true gods of Westeros, the Old Gods. As obviously below the neck, everything is Faith of the Seven, so we'll see what we can do there. So, and we also want to try and kick out the Ironborn from the Riverlands, of course, and get rid of those, and then try and bring back some other Old God houses, if possible, extinct houses. That's another reason why I've chosen this specific bookmark, because as you know, the old kings of Oldstone House Mud are obviously extinct, but in this bookmark, if we go to Greywater Keep, the Greywater Watch, sorry, the house of the land of House Reed, in their custody, in their court, they do actually have two Mud Lords, Christopher and his twin brother John. So there are two Muds actually still around, so we want to try and get them into our court and get them their land in Oldstones back as well as other First Men houses from the Riverlands and the Vale, or whoever have been kicked out. So yes, that will be part of the series as well. There's a lot that we want to do to plan in this series. This is going to be a daily series like the House Dane series, and hopefully it will manage to have just as much life in it as that series. Right, so let's get going into this playthrough then. So House Blackwood and Bracken have been locked in a bitter feud since the Age of Heroes, when both houses ruled as kings. The feud has continued throughout the years, aided by House Bracken's change to the Faith of the Seven. We will show those Brackens. So we enter instantly with a blood feud with House Bracken. Of course, everyone knows how much these two lords hate each other. We're directly opposite each other over the Red Fork, House Blackwood and House Bracken of Stonehenge. So let's have a look at Lord Reaver Mathis, who we will be playing as. So we're 30 years old, we've got some decent stats, some decent intrigue, which is good, and decent martial. We're an elusive shadow, a skilled fighter, we're proud, kind, zealous, ambitious and diligent. We obviously have the famous Raven Feather Cloak of House Blackwood as well in our inventory, which is super cool. If we could get a Valyrian steel sword as well, that would be absolutely incredible. Right, so let's choose a focus. We're very good at war, but we're also very good at intrigue. But then if we're going to try and turn people as well back to the old gods, would it be good to... No, I think we will go. Well, let's go with intrigue then, and see what we can do in that situation. And then for an ambition, wow, we've got a lot of ambitions. Let's try and obtain Valyrian steel. Why not? That would be pretty cool if we could get a Valyrian steel sword. And obviously I will let you guys name it, as I always do in these series. Right, so we've got 3 children. We've got Dickon Blackwood, 16 years old, our heir. Very good in martial. Wow. Skilled commander, a holy warrior, skilled fighter. Proud, selfish, chaste, zealous and brave. We have a daughter, Bethany Blackwood. Seems to be a very common name for Blackwoods, that. Fussy and indolent, and not really much else about her. Let's go for a faith education then, just because we can, and you seem to have decent learning. And then finally we have Lucas Blackwood, 5 years old, and wow, he's got quick trait, so that's pretty good. He's best in stewardship, so let's go with duty, or should we go with thrift? We'll go with thrift. And okay, yeah, you're pretty decent, which is good. And then we have a sister as well, Eliza Blackwood, who is also unmarried, which is good as well. So we've got 4 chances to try and forge some alliances, which we're obviously going to go straight to the north to do so. So let's try and see if we can forge some friendships and alliances with the north. If we could get the Starks on side, that would be awesome, because they would definitely obviously be able to help us out against the Ironborn. Right, so King Torrin, obviously the king who knelt, he does have a daughter, Princess Lyra of the North. Can we arrange a marriage between her and our heir Dickon? No, we can't, but he does have sons. Prince Donor, Prince Rickon, 14, the youngest. Can we arrange a betrothal between him and our daughter Bethany? Yes, we can. Perfect. So yes, we'll go for that and hopefully get the Starks to aid us by doing that. Let's see if we can get some relations with some of the other more powerful Old God and First Men kingdoms up north. What about the Boltons? Let's have a look. He does have a daughter, Lyanna Bolton, but she's only 0 years old. And then he's got a bastard daughter and a son. So none of them are really going to work. We could betroth the youngest one, I suppose, to our youngest son. There's only 5 years between them, and they will go for that, so it would be good to get the Boltons on side. What about the Dustins? They probably command a lot of men. Well, about 1,000. The Carstarks obviously command, wow, 3,000. What about the Umbers? 3.8, so the Umbers would be good to get on side if possible. What have we got left? We've got our son and heir, haven't we, to marry? So let's have a look. Rickard Umber, does he have a daughter? Ariane Umber, but she's only 6. 15, so no, there's no one there. Carstarks, do they have a daughter? He's got 2 daughters, 2 and 0, so they're not going to work either. But he does have sisters, Margaret Carstark and Lasara Carstark, twins. Which one's the better one? You're probably the better one. Can we arrange a marriage between you and our son Dickon? Yes, we can. Perfect. So there's 3 matches, and then we've got a sister left. So we'll try and get one more marriage somewhere up here. Was Rickard Umber married? Yes, he was, unfortunately. But he had a son, didn't he? Reobard Umber, who's 15. Can we arrange a marriage between him and our sister? Our sister's only 20, so we could do. And yes, we can. So it looks like we'll hopefully be able to get an alliance now with the Starks, the Boltons, the Carstarks, and the Umbers. I don't want to do any marriages with people who aren't Old Gods. I know we could probably get more alliances down here, but it's going to go against what the aim of this playthrough is. So I want to only marry into First God houses for now. So that's hopefully most of our marriages sorted out. Hopefully we'll get alliances from that. As long as we get the Stark alliance, that's the main one, because then we'll get all the North on our side. Right, we do need to sort out our court and such. Let's have a look at our council members then. What's our best diplomat? 16, Axel Cup. Okay, 16 isn't too bad actually, so we could keep him as that. And this looks like it's actually a random house. So like with the house name playthrough, guys, if you want to think of a new house and sigil for this guy, Axel, because I don't like Cup, and that is a really shitty sigil. So if you guys want to think of something new for him, something very First Man, and we'll do that for him. And yeah, he can probably stay as our diplomat for now. Let's just arrange a marriage for him with someone of the Old Gods, if there is anybody around. Let's have a look. There's got to be a few, isn't there? Yeah, but they're all pretty old. How old's he? 29. Let's look for one who's closer to his age. Here you go. Here's a 29 Hill clanswoman. She'll do. But yeah, I think he's not too bad for a diplomat, 16. So I think we will keep him as our diplomat. Let's start fabricating claims instantly then. Right, so we own these 3 already. So let's go for Fieldstone then, and we'll try and get in between the Red Fork and the Blue Fork straight away. Right, Master at Arms, 12. But we do have our son with 21 Marshal, so we'll go straight for him. We're not going to have to employ anyone to do that then. And we'll get him to train troops straight away in Blackwood Vale. Oops, I just unpaused. We don't want to do that yet. Master Treasurer. Looks like we may need to employ someone for that, as we don't have anyone. Spy Master. We don't really have anyone for that. We do have a Brax in our court, which is weird. Oops, I've employed him into that role. I didn't want to do that. Our Maester's pretty good, and our Priest is absolutely terrible. Have we got a better Priest? Not really. They're both pretty terrible. Hopefully we can employ a new one. Right, so now that we can do that, let's go and find characters. Let's search all. We want to keep with our religion, as we're going all Old Gods. And let's have a look at our best diplomats. So our diplomat was 16, weren't he? So the only one we could get better is 18 anyway. So we may as well stick with what we've got. He's the 3rd best diplomat of the Old Gods anyway, so no point really wasting money sending gifts out when we've got someone decent anyway. Right, commanders. Torrin, the king in the north, is the best commander. That's good if we can get him on side. And then Dickon, our son, is actually the 2nd best. So that's really good as our Master at Arms. But then we've got Desmond here, who's an inspiring leader, a holy warrior, and a trickster. And he will actually join us if we send him a small gift. So we'll do that and try and get ourselves some better commanders. So let's invite him to court. Then there's another Stark here, Commander of the North, Brandon Snow. Oh, okay. We could invite him to court. Everyone knows who Brandon Snow is, obviously the famous one from the Conquest. But there's a Hill Clansman here, heavy infantry leader, and a flanker and an aggressive leader. We'll send him a gift and invite him. That will give us 3 decent commanders then, which is what we want. There we go. Is there any siege leaders before? Yes, there's 1 siege leader here. I always find it useful to have a siege leader, so we'll send him a gift and invite him as well. Then we'll have 4 decent commanders, and it's always very useful to have siege leaders just to help you out in those wars. Right, stewardship. We literally had no stewards, so if we can get a couple. Here we go. Donald, Castellan of the Weeping Bay. Let's send him a small gift and invite him to court to get him. And Harlan, he's 17 as well, so if we get him in as well, then we can have... He's a brilliant steward and just, so he's pretty good. We can have 1 as our Hand of the King then, and 1 as our steward. Well, not Hand of the King, because we're not a king yet, but you know what I mean. Right, so send that to him. And intrigue, we didn't really have anyone good, did we? We got ourselves. Wow, we've got incredible intrigue, but there's not really anyone else. Damon, courtier in the Wolf's Wood. We could go for him, but we've not got a great amount of money left. Learning, priest of Snowdale. Okay, he's pretty good. Now we'll go for the intrigue instead to match us. So we've got this Damon courtier in the Wolf's Wood. Whereas the one, he's an elusive shadow and he's only 24. So yes, we'll send him a gift and invite to court. Send. So it's going to be a lot of setting up in this first episode, guys. So I do apologise for that if it's not really your thing, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. Right, we'll wait for our new courtiers to arrive, and then we can sort out our council. Aegon Targaryen has had Balerian's whip added to their treasury. I'm really hoping that he doesn't invade Westeros. All hail his grace, Harren of the House Hall, the first of his name. Curse his name. We're going to hail the Iron King. He's nothing to do with us. We'll bring him down the first chance we get. Iron King Harren the Black has created the title High Lordship of the Seastone Isle. So we're just going to wait for those courtiers to show up quickly. To the clever Lord Reaver Mathis, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I've decided to accept the suggestion of a betrothal between Bethany and Prince Rickon. Perfect. Would you be willing to form an alliance with us? And yes, he would. Thank you, King Torrin. That is perfect. To the heroic Lord Reaver Mathis, blessed upon you and your house, I accept the suggestion that Dickon and Lazara get married. House Karstark. Would you like to form an alliance? Yes, they would. Perfect. Even better. And we've got a Karstark in our court as well now, which is cool. Blessed upon you and your house, I accept the suggestion that Axel and Sarah get married. Ah, yeah, that was just the random one for our courtier. To the great Lord Reaver Mathis, I hate that they're calling us Lord Reaver. Blessed upon you and your house, I've decided to accept your suggestion of a betrothal between Lucas and Lyanna. Perfect. The Boltons, can we form an alliance with the Boltons? Yes, we can. Perfect. And who was the other one? Was it House Umber? To the glorious Lord Reaver Mathis, bless upon you and your house, I accept your gracious invitation. Dickon Blackwood and Lysa Karstark have gotten married, and it is customary for a dowry to be paid to the groom's house. Yes, it's in everyone's concern. Please send us a bit of money, because we're desperate for it. Loads of people are arriving at our court as well, which is good. To the great Lord Reaver Mathis, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I accept your gracious invitation. To the glorious Lord Reaver Mathis, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I, King Torrin of the North, accept your proposal for an alliance. So perfect. We've got some good allies there to call in when we need them. Here we go, and that's the Umbers, and they have also accepted the betrothal, which is perfect. Can we form an alliance with the Umbers? Yes, we can. My lord, Lord Osric has sent you the customary amount in gold and silver for the bride's dowry, and now the ceremony can take place. 50 gold, perfect. We are going to need that. We're probably going to need to send that to the Stark soon anyway. And as we are married to an Osgrey, does that mean we can form an alliance with the Osgreys of Coldmoat? Yes, we can. It's not going to be a massive help, but every little helps if we get a few men. And why have they moved their capital from Harrenhal back to the Iron Islands? That seems quite strange that he's moved it back there instead. Why would you do that after you've built Harrenhal? That's fine. Do you know what? I think I'd like to take Harrenhal eventually anyway, considering it's at the mouth of the God's Eye. It would be a very good seat for House Blackwood, for a second branch of House Blackwood maybe. To the clever Lord Reaver Mathis, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I accept your gracious invitation and will join your court forthwith. Great, so most of our courtiers are now here, but it would be good if we could especially get the land around the God's Eye. And then like High Heart as well, which is obviously a very important place to the old gods, and everywhere around the Isle of Faces, all very important to us. An agreement has been reached with Lord Artus to see Robar, Umber and Lysa Blackwood wed, and now the dowry is due to the groom's house. Offer the customary amount, so we're going to have to pay back out what we got paid, but at least we're not losing any money by doing that. Awesome. The Osgreys have accepted our alliance. The Karstarks have accepted our alliance. Right. I'll just wait a few more days just to make sure everyone has arrived in court. Alliance with the Umbers. Hopefully now we can properly sort out our courtiers. Let's have a look. Right. Lord Steward, we will go with the older guy, and then our treasurer will go with the younger guy. Right, collect taxes, please, in Blackwood Vale. Can you... what should we get you to do? Pacify province, improve defense. We could probably do with that. Or let's just go with Oversea Realm, actually. We're already fabricating a claim. I don't know what to do with our spy just yet. We've got a better spy now, haven't we, anyway? Yes, Damon, and he's a first man as well, which is better for us. Did we have a better priest? Courtier, this hill clansman. Wow, he's a priest, is he, apparently? Wow, I've got one learning, though, so yeah, we're not going to go with that. Right, let's get you to start converting the people of Blackwood Vale to the old gods. We'll go with that. That shouldn't take too long. I thought they would have been old gods anyway. We'll leave our spy for now until we decide what we want to do with him. We need a designated region. We will go with our son. Bodyguards, go with our son and Sir Brax and Baron, whoever he is, Master of Horse. Let's go with our highest ranking people, as we've got 3 lords under us and none of them seem to like us that much, so we want to try and improve that if we can. Master of Hunt will go with Pattaya of Fairmarket. High Almoner, we'll go with the other guy just so we can get them all on side. Cupbearer, we'll want someone that we can trust, of course, so we'll go with Dick on Blackwood, our son. Court Tutor, is he really the best we can do? Our Maester, yes he is by far. Right, commanders. Now we want to put our new commanders in charge that we've just employed. These 3 guys at the top are all much, much better, as we can see. And we'll get rid of you, Thor. Then again, you're the Lord, aren't you? So do we really want to do that? Because it's probably going to upset you. But yes, we do. Because we want the best commanders we can get, to be fair. And the other guys are Lord anyway. But they've all got decent traits there at least. Okay, so we need to get some sort of plot. I'm considering we've got the intrigue focus anyway. What could we do plot-wise? I'm not really sure what we should do plot-wise. What could we do? Choose a plot. What could we do? Fabricate a claim on the Kingdom of the Rivers. We can actually... Okay. We'll be a bit quick, though, to do that. I don't really want to do that too quickly. Plot, fabricate evidence of Lord Reaver Adams' trees. So we could just do something nasty against... against the Brackens, just because we obviously hate the Brackens. But we could plot to fabricate a claim on the Kingdom of the Rivers, rally support amongst the other vassals of the Iron King, Harren of the Iron Islands, in an attempt to fabricate a claim on the Kingdom of the Rivers. God willing, you may someday become their new liege. Current character is not Lord Reaver Mathis Black. I don't know if I want to go for that. Let's just go and sabotage the economy of the Iron Islands for now, just because we're obviously going to be going to war with them, so we'll just do that for now. We don't have any factions or anything, do we? So just Crown Loyalists. Oh, and an Independence. Great. No, that's factions in the Kingdom of the Iron Islands. It's just me being stupid. So Lord of Hayford's trying to go for Independence, okay. But there are some Crown Loyalists, but we don't have any factions ourselves. Our Demence is too big, so we do need to give away one of our lordships. We could just give away the castle of Muddy Hall for now. Do we just give it to our son for now? But then that's going to move him. We could host a wedding for him, which would be good. Let's grant landed title, Castle of Muddy Hall for now, including lower titles. Yes, there we go. He's still our vassal, so he still stays as what we want him to do. Right, let's unpause and let things tick along. That gets our Demence size down, thankfully. Storm King Argalic the Arrogant has created the title High Lordship of Blackwater Bay. Okay, so they come all the way up to where King's Landing would stand eventually. But at least, yeah, it looks like Aegon's keeping himself to himself for now. He's defending against the Triarchs at the minute. Okay, so that's interesting. King Ronald II of the Mountain of Vale has created the High Lordship of the Fingers. There's not much we can do for now. We've just got to wait for our claims to fabricate on the lands that we want to expand into, and then once we start slowly growing, things will move quicker and quicker for us. But at least we've sorted out our court, we've sorted out all our minor titles and such, so we'll be in a pretty decent position. We've got lots of liege loyalists as well in our court, which is good. Iron King Harren the Black has declared Ironbore Westerland de jure war over Byford on King Lauren of the Rock. Now that's good. It's a shame that they didn't do that a little bit later, because if they did, we could have used this chance to try and claim some land. Lord Reaver Mathis, the realm is at a state of war, and as such, I, as your liege Iron King, command that you provide men to support my armies. Regards, Harren of House Hoare, Iron King of the Iron Islands. No, I don't think I'll concern myself, you know, for now. I think we'll just keep ourselves to ourselves. Set crown focus in Blackwood. So we're not independent, but we're not going to get involved. I don't see the point, and it looks like somebody else of Lollingston is also not going to get involved. Hopefully a lot of the Riverlands don't get involved. Nobody wants the Ironborn in charge of us. They obviously made the Riverlands bleed heavily in building Harrenhal. And yeah, it looks like the Blackwater Rushlands as well are also staying well out of this war, which is good. The Lannisters are surely going to absolutely crush them. I can't imagine many people, even the ones who have decided to go to war for them, I can't imagine many of them actually sending many men, as they're probably all going to completely hate their guts. Let's just forward things along slowly then for now. My liege, my work in Fieldstone seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the castle of Fieldstone, presently held by Sir Harwin of Fieldstone. I leave it up to you whether to press it or not. Use it. There we go. Right, so we've got our first claim, which is perfect. So at least we've got our first claim. Right, we are low on money though, which is not good. And we also claimed that pretty quickly, so we now need to wait till we can send our Master of Laws somewhere else. And I think we'll go for the Blue Fork and then Stilfen next. So who rules in Stilfen? It's House Viperin, of course. Then Fieldstone is House Strong, so we'll keep both of them around. They are river men, but hopefully we can convert them back to the old gods, which I believe House Viperin were anyway. My lord, since I arrived in Blackwood Vale, there has never been a shortage of soldiers reinforcing the troops stationed there. Under our guidance, they believe fame and fortune awaits them. Your humble Master-at-Arms, Master Dickon of Blackwood. Awesome. And then Blue Fork is ruled by House Cod, so we'll obviously be kicking those straight out of there. And we'll also be able to hopefully create the High Lordship of the Blue Fork by doing so as well. According to your Master-at-Arms, Dickon Blackwood, the peasants of Blackwood Vale are having frequent troubles with highwaymen and wild beasts. He suggests constructing a series of outposts along the roads of Blackwood Vale. The peasantry would feel much safer, and it might even lead to more peasants moving to the country. A safer peasant is a productive peasant, of course. It's going to make us lose a lot of money though. House Blackwood and Bracken have been in a bitter feud against each other since the Age of Heroes, when both House ruled as kings. The feud has continued throughout the years, aided by House Bracken's changed faith of the Seven. As a result, our house holds a claim to many lands across the river. House Blackwood shall prevail. Okay, so we've managed to get a strong claim on the city of Lambswold, the city of Halfway, and the castle of Mudford. Okay, that's interesting, and I'm guessing they're all vassals to the lordship of Stonehenge, aren't they? Yes, wow, that's pretty cool. So we could go and invade the Brackens and claim all those lands. My lord, your daughter Bethany is responding very well to my tuition. She has improved her skills and advancing in knowledge every day. Awesome, she's gained 2 diplomacy. And it seems awesome that we'll be able to go to war with the Brackens fairly early on, because it just seems very fitting that we could go to war with the Brackens as quickly as possible. Can we call back our diplomat? Yes, we can. Perfect. Let's fabricate a claim on the Blue Fork next, please. Be good if we could get everything around this river, couldn't it? If we could move up, get the Blue Fork and Stilfton, and get all the way up the Blue Fork and take Oldstone back, get the Muds reinstated. It'd be cool to get the Malisters on side as well. I do like House Mallister. But if we could just get the Trident, as that's our first aim, to get the Trident, not meaning all the Riverlands, literally just the lands bordering the Trident, and get it all back to Old Gods, and then we'll look at where we should expand into next. It would be nice to turn the Vale back to Old Gods as well, and get houses such as the Red Forts and the Royces ruling there again, and having a much more influence. So yeah, if we're going to have to wait for this claim on Blue Fork, we're still waiting for Blackwood Vale to change back to the faith of the old gods. Obviously the Iron Men are also trying to change it to the faith of the Drowned God, which we definitely don't want happening, if we can help it anyway. We're very, very much in debt, so we need to make some money as quickly as possible, if we can. My liege, I'm pleased to report the success of my mission to Blackwood Vale. The majority of the population have been converted to the old god's faith. Your humble priest, Lord Reaver Mathis of Blackwood, and for some reason his picture's not there. No idea why not, but awesome, at least we've managed to convert that back. The recent conversion of Blackwood Vale to old gods has caused great unrest in the unfaithful parts of your realm. Both noble and peasant alike feel threatened. They will understand eventually. Okay, so that's going to upset our lords, which is not good. That's not what we want. So we're going to have to try and get them on side eventually. But let's now move to... Let's do Fair Market first so that we can get up to that river converted. There we go. Let's get them converted back to the faith of the old gods as well. We obviously want to spread this. And I know that converting to the old gods can take a lot longer than when you try and convert people to the faith of the Seven. So it might be a little bit harder than in the Knights of the North, where we obviously convert the North to the Seven. But I suppose it all depends on your priest. And we're zealous as well, which could work in our favour. Who knows? Okay, so what's going on with the Harrenhal War? Not the Harrenhal War, sorry, the Hoare and Lannister War. How's it going? King Lauren of the Rock is winning by 30%. So it's a shame that we can't really press any claims at the minute. We can't declare war at the minute anyway for the Iron against House Hoare, why they're currently at war, which is a shame. Does that mean that we can declare war directly on you? No, we actually can't, so we have to wait for it to be over. But that may work in our favour. If the Lannisters win this war quite heavily, hopefully House Hoare lose a lot of soldiers, which would then obviously work in our favour massively, because we'll be able to attack them and have enough men to split up their small units, and then when the Starks come marching down from the north, we'll easily be able to win that war and push back the Hoares and take quite a big chunk of land. But we don't want to do that too early. We want to try and make a good power grab all in one go. So if we can at least get the High Lordship of the Blue Fork and maybe something else, that would work perfectly. And we could also obviously try and press the claims on the Bracken lands, because we'll press all claims. We won't get Stonehenge, but we will get the cities that are in that area, which will obviously work amazingly in our favour, and it will help piss off House Bracken as well, which is, of course, we want to do. Lord Arthur of the last half has inherited Lordship of Sealshore from Lord Arthas of Sealshore. Okay, interesting. Doesn't really concern us that much, does it? We're just going to forward ahead. We want to get ourselves out of debt as quickly as possible. I'm glad that we're quite young as well. This is another reason that I chose this specific bookmark, because in a lot of the bookmarks there was either like really crappy Blackwood Lords, or there was really good Blackwood Lords and they were like 60 years old, and it was like, I don't want a character who was going to die within a few episodes. But with this one, we've got a decent character and we've got a decent heir as well. As I enter my chambers, all of the work I had done in my spare time seems to have been cleaned up and put back. Books are neatly set in alphabetical order and notes have been thrown away. Bethany Blackwood was apparently cleaning earlier. I'll mess up her chambers. Clearly, cleaning is not my virtue. We lose 50 prestige. We'll go with the top one. Bethany is quietly cleaning her chambers after my episode in there. Seems like this is a very for a child. Maybe I shouldn't have. Okay, so we couldn't really choose anything there that didn't affect us badly. But how are the Hoares getting on now? Are they losing that war? King Torrin of the North has inherited Castle of Gatehouse Tower from Eddard of Gatehouse Tower. Okay. Yeah, how's that war getting on? How are they doing against the Lannisters now? The Lannisters are winning by 53%. That's good. That works perfectly in our favour. We obviously want the Lannisters to win. We don't want the Hoares expanding their power and expanding their land, because we obviously want them to suffer so that we can expand our own lands. Okay, we're nearly out of debt, which is good. We're still trying to wait for that claim on the Blue Fork. Hopefully we get ourselves out of debt, and then we'll get ourselves straight back into debt when we do get that claim. We obviously want to get enough money that we can colonise Old Stones as well, which is going to cost a lot of money, but it'd be good to get those muds into our court and grant them back Old Stones. It'd be great to get the muds back in and around the Riverlands. I do really like House Muds. I don't know what it is about them. I've just always really liked House Mud, even though we don't know that much about them. It's just because of the Hammer of Justice, I think. It just sounds like such an epic character that I'd like to hear more about. What's this little army doing here? Donald's host. No idea. Some small host just getting absolutely slaughtered over there in the Blue Fork. You know what? Let's give our character a haircut while we can. Go to the barber. Let's try and make him look a bit more impressive. Is there any better looking beards? Make ourselves look even more first, man. My lord, heathens attacked me when I tried to spread the word of the gods. I barely escaped with my life, and now I am severely wounded. Your humble priest, Hoster. How dare they? Quite like that. Then again, the beard we've got already is probably better than that. Well, that's not a strong chin under that beard. Do you know what? We'll leave the beard, but I may change his hairstyle. Looks like we've been breeding with the Tullys by this auburn hair that we've all got. Let's go for that haircut. That looks pretty cool. Georgian of Middlebury Peasant Revolt has declared Peasant Revolt for Middlesbury on King Mern of Highgarden. Okay. What quality of education would you like to purchase for your daughter, Bethany Blackwood? Well, she looks like she's very good in diplomacy, so we'll go for the diplomacy, and obviously we're going to spend very highly on her education as well. Right, we'll forward things along, get ourselves out of debt and wait for that claim to fire up on the Blue Fork, which hopefully won't take too long. My liege, my work in Blue Fork seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Blue Fork, presently held by Lord Cadwell of Blue Fork. Yes, the cods, we want to get rid of them. Of course, we will use this. We're going to lose 100 prestige, but only 27 gold, so that's not too bad. So we won't be in massive debt, which is good. That works nicely in our favour. We obviously are still converting, so we only need one more area, and hopefully by then the Horde will about have lost their war. Let's get ourselves out of debt, and then we also need to move our diplomat. We're also still trying to convert Fair Market, aren't we? Let's now go fabricate a claim on, what's it called again? Stilfen. Let's get that under our control of House Viperin. We will keep House Viperin around, of course. Still minus 13. What do the lords think of it anyway, our lord presently? Minus 16, Lord Medgar of Maidstone. Why does he hate us so much? Religion threatened, religious differences. Lack of funds. Okay. Why do you hate us, Lord Shawnee of Blackwood? Okay, you don't hate us too much. Okay, so that's good. And what about Fair Market? Sir Petire of Fair Market. You hate us for pretty much the same reasons that the other lord hated us. Fair enough, I see how it is. Forward things along, wait for that last claim. Hopefully it comes in time just for when the Horde's loose so that we can declare war instantly to try and expand our lands. Try and get ourselves out of debt as well and give ourselves enough money to press that claim. Lord Aegon II of Dragonstone has declared Lord Aegon II's conquest of the Whispers on Lord Osmond of the Whispers. Okay, so Aegon the Conqueror is trying to take Cracklaw Point, and it looks like he's already taken the Celtigar lands, and it looks like they surrendered pretty much straight away, House Crab, which is no surprise, to be fair, is it? I'm not massively surprised by that. All he's going to do is fly in with Balerion, and that's pretty much going to be it on that front, isn't it? How are things going everywhere? Everywhere else looks like they're at peace. It's only really the Rock and the Isles that are at war. My lord, your daughter Bethany is responding very well to my tuition. She has improved her skills and advancing in knowledge every day. Gained 2 learning. Okay, so Bethany Blackwood's doing pretty good. 13 learning and 10 diplomacy. She's the one betrothed to Prince Rickon of the North. The recent conversion of Blackwood Vale to the Old Gods has caused great unrest in the unfaithful parts of your realm. Oh, great news. Absolutely brilliant. At least that means we can move our priest now, though. Oh, what? I thought we'd just converted Fair Market. No, okay, doesn't matter. Right, forward along. Wait for that claim. I'd like to get that claim before the end of today's episode, if possible, so then we can start the second one by actually trying to expand our land. Lord Baron of the Neck used a favour on King Torrin of the North to get the Senshell position, getting Lord Willem of White Harbour fired in the process. Okay. We're in the year 8000. The year that Aegon's reign starts. King Torrin of the North has revoked the lordship of Moat Cailin from Rickon Stark. Isn't that our future son-in-law? Yes, it is. Wonder why he's took that. Wow, 20 Marshal. He's pretty impressive for an 18-year-old. News from Dragonstone, my lord. A new dragon has entered the world. Lady Visenya Targaryen has apparently successfully hatched one and has named the she-dragon Ruklon. Why? What's happened to Vhagar? Is Vhagar died? Vhagar must have died. Meraxis is still there, yeah. Aegon. Balerion's still there, yeah. Okay, God knows what's happened to Vhagar then. Danao just drifts around doing nothing productive and nothing interesting. If only she could get off her butt and be more ambitious. Lazy good-for-nothing, who's Danao? Our courtier who's married to Harlan Ironsmith. Who are you? Someone of the old gods. Okay, so here's another house that we could probably make a little bit more interesting, guys, so you can come up with ones for that. My lord, since I arrived in Blackwood Vale, there's never been a shortage of soldiers. Awesome, so our reinforcement rate goes up again, which is perfect. Axel Cupp has been a leal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in aid of Blackwood. It was seen as the right and honourable choice to reward him with certain incomes and grants as to foster greater loyalty. I will grant him a knighthood. Can we even do that? We're old gods, we can't grant him a knighthood, and he's also old gods. And oh, okay, so he's now nicknamed Axel Oakskin. So if you want to use that into his new house names, guys, something to do with a tree maybe, as he's got a nice nickname now, we'll arrange a reward. We'll send him 10 gold, why not, to thank him for everything he's done for us. My lord heathens attacked me when I tried to spread the word of the gods. I barely escaped with my life. Perfect, yet again. Let's forward things along and wait for that claim. My liege, my work in Stilfen seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening, and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Stilfen, presently held by Lord Willem of Stilfen. I leave it up to you whether to press it or not. Yes, of course, we will use that claim, which made us lose a lot of money. Lord Aegon of Dragonstone has declared Lord Aegon the conquest of Diaden on Lord Alan the Rash, so that he's literally going for all of the Whispers, which is worrying, but then also hopefully not too worrying. Where do we send our Master of Laws to next? Do we go for Marlott Bay, as it's either side? That probably would make the most sense, to be fair, wouldn't it? Marlott Bay. And then we'd have both lands bordering Oldstone, so that we could try and get that back under our control. Who leads in Rushmore? House Penford. Who's in Marlott Bay? House Grell. So I think Marlott Bay probably would make the most sense, and we'd have everything bordering the Blue Fork. We'd have everything either side of the Blue Fork, wouldn't we, once we colonise Oldstone, which is going to take a while till we get that sort of money. But yeah, I think it'd make most sense if we get you to go and fabricate a claim on Marlott Bay for now. I think, though, guys, we will end the first episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you are going to enjoy this series as much as you've enjoyed the other series on the channel. If you did enjoy this first episode, please don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. At least then I know if you're going to enjoy this series, and I know if you want to see it continue. Don't forget to come up with a name as well for Lord Axel Cup. We don't want Cup, it was pretty shitter. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will think of something much better, you always do. Thank you once again for watching, hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode.